Hello, folks. Welcome back to The Slice. The Big Three is back, and that's sick because the golden age of tennis was the best tennis ever, and we're kind of getting a little reincarnation of that right now because Federer, Djokovic, and Nadal are playing well, and they look like they're on a crash course to give us another blockbuster semifinal and final matchup. So here is The Slice on the quarterfinals and how those matchups might possibly happen. Wow, folks, is this 2012? Is this 2008? It's unreal that Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic are playing like this all at the same time again, and it's a great thing. Now, before we get going, I need you guys to do a couple things for me. First, if you haven't, hit that subscribe button. Just hit it hard, and then also give this video a like if you like it. If you don't, then don't do anything. And thirdly, if you could consider supporting The Slice on Patreon, it's giving $2, $5 a month. That'll help us continue to make these videos better and cover more stuff along the way. So thank you. The link for that is right below this. So we got Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic all playing great on grass right now, and it's awesome to see. I think that Federer is hitting the ball super cleanly. He's playing well. I mean, he hasn't been pushed too hard in any of his matches because he's won them all in straight sets. He hasn't lost a set on grass since 2016, which is unreal. Djokovic is moving really well out there. He wasn't injured in his legs, but he's moving and playing smart and playing confidently, and he just looks like 2014 Djokovic, where he's just playing super good and clean on grass. He's a great grass court player. Like, he's obviously hard courts are his best surface, but he's smart enough and he has a great tennis IQ and serves really underratedly well. I feel like as far as placement on grass, which helps him get into players and then, wear them down, obviously rallying, but also just make them move so much that they're uncomfortable. And he finishes points and wins a lot. And Nadal is looking good on grass. He's moving really well and playing confidently, and looks like he's grinding out there. I don't know if the courts are a little bit slower this year. They seem to me, just from watching some of the matches, they look a little bit slower, but that's just my eyeballs telling me that. But Nadal is playing well. He's serving well, and his last test against Yuri Vesely, who's a big hitter, was one of those big hitters where you're like, oh, is he going to have another slip up and lose to a big hitter early at Wimbledon? Looked fine. Didn't even really get bothered at all by Yuri Vesely. So Rafa fans are stoked. So all three of these guys are locked in right now. Djokovic especially, I think, looks locked in, like, competitively. He's feel like he's playing the way that he wants to be, and he's really, seems like he's locked in a sense there. Nadal looks like he's just carried right on from the clay court swing, and he's pounding people, and Federer is really just chopping people up and having no holds barred. I mean, none of these guys are really being pushed too hard right now, and they look like they're on a crash course to meet in the semifinals. So their quarterfinal matchups are big challenges, though, for each of them, I'd say. Less for Federer at the beginning. I don't think Anderson will be a big deal for Federer. I don't think he's ever lost to him. I didn't look that up. But Anderson's just never seemed like that big of a threat to me for a guy like Federer who just takes away so much time. I think the bigger threat for Federer will come in either Raonic or Isner in the semifinals because both those guys obviously are huge hitters, just like Anderson, but they seem to be better. Even though Anderson is rated higher, Raonic has obviously beaten Federer in 2016 in Wimbledon, but Federer was injured there, and he was not playing at his best. But still, I think it could go down bad because, like I said, it would be. Federer did have a pretty easy start. Like, those guys weren't huge challenges for him. I don't know why anyone thought they would be. And now getting these big hitters, which he hasn't really played against any big hitters. I guess Struff was kind of a big hitter, but yeah, Anderson. I don't know if Federer's rhythm's going to be completely there, and Anderson could expose that, but I feel like Federer's going to be able to handle it because if you'd expect anything less, that'd be pretty crazy. It would still be a massive upset if he was bothered by Anderson, but Isner or Raonic would make more sense if Federer was to run into a block there. So that's the quarterfinal matchup. I expect Federer to get through, but you never know. But you can be pretty confident, I think, against Anderson. Now, Djokovic playing Nishikori in the quarterfinals. That's a tough matchup for him because Nishikori took out Zverev in 3 sets, which is impressive because Zverev's been playing. Oh, sorry, am I saying Zverev? I meant freaking Kyrgios in 3 sets on grass, and Kyrgios has been playing well, so that's an impressive result for Nishikori, who looks like a man on a mission. And Djokovic beating him will be a big step of confidence for him going into the semifinals, and is going to give him all the momentum he needs because Nishikori's shown now that he's really back into form now, and he's playing great tennis. Also rocking that Uniqlo that Federer's now rocking. They got their brother, and it just looks better on, you know, it looks better on Nishikori because he's Japanese. I hope he's Japanese. I haven't looked up his nationality, but I think he is. So that'll be a tough ask for Djokovic, but I, again, expect that he can get through it. He just looks like he's moving so well, and history is on his side because he's won way more, obviously. So if they're playing that evenly, I'd say in form right now, I got to go with Djokovic because he's more experienced, especially on the Wimbledon grass, obviously. And now Nadal is his opponent for the quarterfinals isn't actually set now because there's been like the Del Potro and Gilles Simon fourth round is postponed. So I don't know if they're both. I would doubt that they're no. Yeah. So Simon and Del Potro are actually playing tomorrow, and then Nadal's not playing either. The quarterfinals aren't happening until the next day. So I think that obviously Nadal's going to hope for a Gilles Simon upset because Del Potro will be dangerous on grass. Obviously, because he's a big hitter and he can move well and he's playing well this year. He's probably been one of the top 3 players of the year so far. Obviously, behind Nadal and Federer both winning a major. But yeah, Del Potro is Nadal's going to hope that Gilles Simon can come through there. But he could even cause a disturbance. But definitely, if Del Potro meets Nadal, that's going to be a tough match for Nadal. But the way he's been playing, he's had a much easier time in this tournament than Del Potro has as far as like how easily he's winning his matches. And I'm calling for Nadal to win that. I'm not calling for the upset. So in my world that I've just painted, I think we got Federer, and I'm saying Raonic because I do think Raonic is a bit better mover on grass, and that does make a difference even though they're both huge hitters and going to be a lot of short points, a lot of quick rallies, and a lot of probably tiebreakers in each set maybe. Raonic can move a little bit better, and he seems like, he could do it. And he's had more success at Wimbledon than Isner has. Obviously making the final in 2016 and beating Federer that year as well. And then it's Djokovic, Nadal, if it works out how I hope it will, because that's a banger. And I really don't know who would come out on that one. You really got to see the quarterfinals. There's no real sense in putting out like a favorite in the semifinal matchups that haven't even been set yet. But Djokovic could really step back into contention for winning a major by beating Nadal, and Nadal would get, if Nadal can make it to the final and play probably Federer, because you got to put your bets on Federer right now, that's a massive opportunity for Nadal to take a massive step towards Federer in that Grand Slam race and the GOAT race, potentially reopen the debate, because I'd say it's kind of enclosed after they've just been like trading blows. Like the gap has been staying the same since it was 17-14. Now it's just 20-17. It's just like Nadal's caught Federer, but then Federer moved the goalposts, and now it's 20 is the marker. But if Nadal was to win Wimbledon somehow, beating Federer in the final, oh boy, that would open a huge can of worms, and the tennis fans would be going nuts, and the debate would blow up in the Slice comment section and just around the world. So I'm excited to see how this all goes down, because the big 3, I say the big 3 because Murray is obviously part of the big 4. The big 4 is the real thing, but I always kind of thought of it as the big 3 because if you look at the numbers of majors or amount of weeks they've been at number 1, it's not even close between Federer, Nadal, Djokovic, and Murray. It's like he's like their half brother or like their little cousin. Like Murray is much better in those categories. I mean, at least world at weeks at number 1 because he's the only guy who's been there other than those big 3. He's big. He's a far away from like the rest of the field, but I still wouldn't. It's just a hard grouping of him in the big 4. So what do you guys think about that? Let me know. But I think the big 3, these are 3 of the top, I would say 5 tennis players of all time playing at the same time. And we're getting a little retaste of that with Djokovic joining the fun that Federer and Nadal have been having for the last 2 years. So it's a grand time here at Wimbledon, and things are really starting to cook up. The problem is I'm actually away for the next week for my job. So the videos that I'll be posting, if I do, are going to be not in the studio, unfortunately. But I will try to make like more of like a vlog style, just giving my thoughts on the quarterfinal matches and the semifinal matchups, and then I'll be able to make a recap of the final right after it happens. So stay tuned. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't for the Slice already, because you don't want to miss what's coming up, because Wimbledon is the best time of the year, and things are popping off, and we have some potential blockbuster matchups that are happening in the later stages of this tournament, and I honestly can't wait. Thanks for watching, folks. Thank you for your support, and I would appreciate any of you clicking the link below and considering being a patron, which means you can pay $1, $2, $5, whatever, $1 million a month to support the Slice so we can keep buying new lights, etc., making everything better and going to more events and doing more stuff for this channel. I think we have the best community on YouTube for tennis, and I love you guys' chats, your roasts of me, of everything. I like that we're all savages here because it keeps tennis fun. So thank you for your support, and thanks for watching The Slice. See you next time.